What's up guys, welcome back to the Decent Garage. Well, we haven't worked on Prospector Bob in a while. Last we worked on him, we're suspecting there is a fuel pressure or fueling issue, possibly a turbo issue, but we don't know yet. So I ordered a Tack and a fuel pressure gauge to put in this truck. Now you guys have already seen the tutorials of me installing these gauges and showing how to do it on the OG crew cab. And if you're interested in seeing that, I'll link those videos in the description below. But this should be very easy, very straightforward. I feel like at this point I could do it in my sleep. So we'll get these installed and check the fuel pressure and see if that's the issue. So let's get these gauges installed, but before we do, a real quick announcement. I'm excited to announce that I've had some people in Utah reach out and set up a first gen truck and parts swap meet. So this is going to be held in Logan, Utah on October 2nd from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. But this should be a really fun event, and we're looking for it to be a very high quality event. We're not looking for this to be some random truck meet where we've got burnouts and races going on. We don't want any of that stuff to occur. We want this to be a fun, civil event. Any part sales will be private party between you and the seller. We're hoping to have a ton of first gens out there, 81 to 93. And we're hoping to just meet a lot of new people. So this should be a really fun event. Again, October 2nd, 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. All right, so what we're gonna do, I've got this column mount, just like I did in the OG crew cab. We're gonna use this for the Tack. I had this 3-gauge pillar pod sitting around, so a couple of weeks ago, I actually painted it. You guys have seen the video maybe on me doing that and showing how to do that. I'll link that below as well if you need to know how to do that, but got it painted up. So in this gauge pod, we're gonna have 3 gauges. We're gonna have fuel pressure, boost, and exhaust gas temperature or pyrometer. So we'll be able to tell a lot from all 4 of these gauges to help us diagnose some of the issues that we're still having with that truck. All right, so I'm gonna first start by doing the Tack. I did mention in the other video I did installing this Tack that there's 2 different ways to install this Tack. I used what connects into the factory harness for a 92 and 93 first gen. That's what I'm gonna do on this truck because I found out that it has that harness. Prior to me finding that out, I was gonna use this magnetic pickup system that Gino's Garage also sells. I've heard these systems are a little bit hit or miss. Some people have no issues with them, other people have issues with them. So I'm actually glad I don't have to do this system. But if you don't have a factory harness that has the factory pigtail for a Tack, this is kind of your only option to run a Tack in your first gen, or if your first gen is older than 92. So you may have to resort to doing this. Again, you can pick these up at Gino's Garage. All right guys, the Tack is mounted up, ready to be installed. So let's go take it to the truck and install it. Just like that, the Tack is installed. So now that that's done, we just got to do the fuel pressure gauge, and then we'll have all the gauges ready to go and start driving this thing a little bit more. All right, we got the fuel hose all made up. Let's go put it on the truck. All right, guys, we got them installed. Here is the final setup, but I hesitate to say the final setup. You'll notice I don't even have this attached on here. It's really just sitting there because this pillar gauge mount is horrible. It doesn't fit down here very well. It's just crap. So I'm gonna leave it just sitting here like this, but I think what I'm going to do is order the glow shift pillar mount. I get a lot of people asking about that and what's the quality like. So this is a perfect opportunity to order that, put these gauges in that, and compare that to this. If the glow shift pillar mount is crap, I might use my Autometer 3 gauge pod that I had in the OG crew cab before I switched to 4 gauges. So that's the last resort if we need to. But I do want these, I kind of like them on the pillar in this truck, so we'll try that glow shift pod. So I'll order that. We'll do a review on it, do a review video and see how that is. But let's fire it up and see if everything works. All right, here we go. Okay, fuel pressure's building. So this is concerning though, fuel pressure. I need to do some research. I don't know what fuel pressure should be on a P pump, but it should be more than the VE pump. And it's just dropping. And it just doesn't change when I give it throttle. All right, so there we go. We got the gauges installed, all wired in, everything's good to go. Obviously, I'm not happy with the pillar pod, so I'm going to order that glow shift one tonight, and then we'll do a review on that in a separate video. Fuel pressure is not looking good in this truck, so I know it's supposed to be above 8 at idle on a P pump. Well, I don't know that, but I would assume that if my VE pump is at 15 at idle, the P pump should be higher. So we'll dive into that as well. Probably throw a new fuel pump at this. I've got one sitting in the garage, brand new, that someone gave me. They didn't need it, so we may throw that in. But there we go, more gauges installed. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this video, and we will see you guys in the next video.